As with many organizations the past little while, there's been lots of changes around Volunteer Ottawa, and we're excited to be bringing a high capacity and engaging team to you. So we'll introduce you to the program side of the team today, as well as shout outs to some of our other staff. And then we will then turn it over to talking about making the most of your Volunteer Ottawa membership. Past that, we'll be talking all about our new member benefit, and then going into our content for today, which is talking all about better impact and a robust volunteer management system with Brandy. So stay tuned, we'll get into that. And in the meantime, just to share a little bit about Volunteer Ottawa. If you don't know, we're celebrating and being 65 years young this year. We're a leader in helping make meaningful difference in the greater Ottawa region. We're both promoting volunteerism, engaging the community, and building expertise and capacity in not-for-profits. We do this through our workshops, our training sessions, our inclusive programming, networking opportunities, and our integrated systems for volunteer and organizational matching, which is something we're going to look at how we've upgraded that and have a more robust platform than ever for volunteer matching and for promoting volunteer opportunities. So just a quick introduction to our program team. Heather, who you've already met and read the land acknowledgement, is our coordinator of membership and volunteers. So she works readily, and you may have already had some interactions with Heather along the way, and she's eager to connect with you and answer any questions. And whenever there's a need to know about her website or member benefits, she's the go-to. And she's just recently finished her degree, which is very exciting. So she's moving from student and staff to full-time staff just this next coming week. So we're so excited to have her finally on full-time, leading into a very exciting time here at VO. Our colleague Alvaro, who is our education officer, has some family events going on, which are good in nature. So he couldn't be here with us today. I'll be kind of covering for him, but he's just joined us recently and comes to us from a background as a professor, a PhD in history, who has a passion for the community and wants to take all of that educational background and help build out Volunteer Ottawa's workshops and educational platform to reach new and deeper heights. So you'll be very excited to meet Alvaro in the next coming weeks and months. And I'll be talking a little bit more about the education program that we're building in later on in the webinar. And then myself, I'm Adam James. I am the Director of Programs and Fund Development here at Volunteer Ottawa. Just started on staff in January, but have a long history working with Volunteer Ottawa as a facilitator of workshops, as a volunteer at events, speaker at the Speakers Bureau, and even spoke at their AGM a couple of years ago. And loved Volunteer Ottawa before, and when the opportunity came to join the team, I was more than eager to jump on board. So we do welcome you. I do want to also give a shout out to our other team members, our new ED, who has joined us just this April and has been amazing at integrating and helping the team gel. She's a wonderful leader and a wonderful person that I've gotten to enjoy getting to know, and the organization is in such a strong position with her leadership. And so I hope you will get a chance to meet Christine in the upcoming weeks and months. And the other staff that is the longest standing staff who's busy doing up-teen dozen other things this morning is Carissa Harkins. She is our communications officer, and she is always busy integrating and connecting us to the larger community, heading up our social media and all of our interactive engagement online and various capacities. So you'll definitely be seeing her work. If you're not seeing her, you'll be seeing all of her great engagement that she creates throughout the community for Volunteer Ottawa. So that's just a little bit about our team, but we're very excited to get into the details to help you see the value that we have for you through our member benefits. And I'm going to pass it over to Heather, and she will lead you through this section.
Yes, thank you so much. Bear with me for 1 second as I share my screen. Perfect. And everybody see my screen okay? Okay, perfect. So I just have to go through here. Perfect. So here I'll be talking a little bit about our member benefits, some of which you've probably already heard. And I'm really looking forward to having this opportunity to talk to you, some of which I do recognize some names here that I've interacted with, whether it's via email or some Zoom calls, which is fantastic. But some of our member benefits include, as you may know, the unlimited volunteer opportunity post to our community that has thousands of volunteer applicants. In the recent past couple of weeks, we've actually seen a real increase in our volunteer engagement as well. So volunteers are really actively looking for opportunities. So I highly encourage you to take as much from this benefit as possible. As well, on the membership end, you have access to search from thousands of volunteers in our volunteer community. So it's very much a collaborative piece that we have between members and volunteers. Volunteers are seeking you out just as much as you are seeking them out. And we will talk a little bit about how your membership profiles really exemplify that connection between volunteers as well as members. Including in our member benefits, we also have one free workshop and member discount on all workshops and custom workshops. So if you're interested in any of our workshops, we also have our calendar, which is on the website, that gives a list of all our workshops pre-existing. However, if your organization is looking for something specific that would assist your volunteers, we also do custom workshops. And as Adam mentioned, we have our education officer, Alvaro, who would be happy to help work with that for you. And as well, we also have a subscription to our newsletter. This will allow you to kind of keep your organization involved in every updates that Volunteer Ottawa has. I do really want to highlight here as well that I understand that in your membership, you only have one direct contact. That is for our own benefit to ensure that your account has a proper contact. However, other members from your organization can certainly sign up for our newsletters and e-blasts. So that way everyone in your organization is staying as up to date as possible. And as well, you also have priority access to updates and programs such as Generation Give and the Diversity Leadership Ottawa, which is, again, something we're really excited to get up and going again. And so having access to our newsletters and e-blasts really assists in keeping in coordination with what our updates are with regards to our webinars and everything. So I really encourage you and all your members to sign up for our newsletters to stay up to date. And then I'll continue with our member benefits. You also have access to our Knowledge Center, which is, again, something you can speak to Alvaro about as well. And our vast amount of information that is also on our website, which I'll be kind of looking towards soon here. As well, as a member, you are able to vote at our annual general meeting, as well as being included in our membership directory. This also allows you to post your events on the Volunteer Ottawa website calendar. This helps you promote your events as well as engage volunteers and people across the Ottawa community in your events. To really spread awareness. And now, one of our more recent membership benefits that will be spoken about a little bit more in depth afterwards is our $100 off a Better Impact subscription for new users and $100 off of any training services for returning to BI Better Impact subscribers. So this would include 3 webinars on volunteer management, database systems, and technology. And in terms of the Better Impact, as Adam mentioned, we have a really great guest speaker that will be able to go into more depth about what this member benefit will really look like for you. So then moving forward, we also have our new website, which you would have been made aware of given our newsletters as well. And so this looks a little bit different from the old website. And I will just be sharing this video with you briefly. Just a warning in case the sound is too loud. I don't want to burst any eardrums here, but I'll just play a very brief video. So I'll try.
In this video, I want to quickly walk you through the new Volunteer Ottawa website dashboard. So if you're a member and if you have username, or in this case, your email and a password, you can log in or sign in to your dashboard. So I'm going to just quickly walk you through on the left-hand side menu. So this here is my account. So this is your basic information when you registered. So your first name, last name. And if you scroll down, there's organizational description and some titles and then so forth. So you can anytime change and update those information. And here's the like little links on the top. So this tells you subscriptions. So which membership you subscribe to if it's active, and then some expiry date is going to be here, usually March 31st. And the payment, this is also show you whether your payment has been made. And here you can log out, and also you can.
So I just wanted to show this brief clip from this video that we actually have up on our YouTube channel. However, I did want to really share with you our volunteer website. So can everybody see my account page here? Okay, perfect. I see a thumbs up. Thank you so much, Claire. And so this is what the video on our website or on our YouTube channel goes through. So when logging into your account, as mentioned in the video, you have your subscriptions and your payments and your logout information, and as well this taskbar on the left here. So what I really just wanted to briefly highlight is the member profile, because as mentioned, we have a really great opportunity for you to connect with many volunteers from across Ottawa. And one really large component of that is ensuring that your member profile is as up to date as possible. This will really allow you to highlight your organization and ensure that you're connecting yourself with the right volunteers. So here we encourage you to upload your logo. We noticed on our website, there are many organizations that do have really great logos uploaded. And so it really adds to the visualization that volunteers have when looking at your member profile and seeking out volunteer opportunities. And of course here, this is the Volunteer Ottawa account. So of course we have a lot of check boxes, but this really allows you to, again, really highlight who your organization is trying to support, as well as what type of volunteers you are seeking out. And of course, this information really just allows your volunteers and prospective volunteers to connect with your website and engage with your organization further. So again, I just really wanted to focus on the collaborative aspect of the volunteering and engaging with your volunteers through the website, but I highly encourage you to walk yourself through the YouTube video as well as your account and going through all of these tabs to ensure that your profile is as up to date as possible. We always encourage on March 31st that your account is updated as well as renewed. And yeah, but we highly encourage you throughout the year to just take a look at your account and update it if there's any other information that you would like to add. And so I will stop sharing here and allow Adam to then move forward with the educational piece. Oh, you're on mute. There you go.
We'll get used to that someday. All right. Thank you very much. And everybody see the screen again? Able to see the presentation? Excellent. So as I mentioned, Alvaro can't be here today, but I'm more than happy to talk about the depth and engagement that is our Volunteer Ottawa education program. So just at a glance, we typically have over 45 scheduled regular workshops every year. So this would mean that, every week there's something new and engaging to take part in. We have over 40 experienced facilitators that help to bring, leading practice and high quality education pieces to our workshops. So as you're coming into a Volunteer Ottawa workshop, you're knowing that you're getting some leading edge and highly engaging material. And we focus on best practices for education, dynamic learning environments and a chance to have time to answer questions and engage on with the environment, network with the other participants, and seek the advice of the facilitator as well in those workshops. Each year we see hundreds of participants. So one thing I want to note at this point is that you are just one person in an organization that may have several other staff, and we provide workshops for people from board members to EDs, to staff members, to volunteers. So no matter what position you're working in your organization, there's workshops that could benefit others. So we do encourage that you spread widely the education platform, whether it's through sharing the emails or sending the link, which I'll put in the chat here in just a second. You can see all of our workshops there. And that's a great opportunity to talk about to your team about what some of the needs might be, and helping staff members to build their skills as many are in this time, are facing a new season and a new environment of providing services. You can also visit our website, and I just put it in the chat, and go to training education mailing list. And that's another great opportunity to ensure you're getting our regular offerings and highlighting the upcoming workshops that are happening each and every week at Volunteer Ottawa. I mentioned they're relevant for both staff, for leaders, for volunteers, including board members. We cover a wide variety of not-for-profit topics. Governance is a very popular one. Organizational operations, so be it communications or strategic planning. Some of our workshops are on how to utilize Google, or training on how to be more proficient in Excel. So there's a wide variety of skills and opportunities that the education program brings. We have several really great communications, whether it's to deal with social media, public speaking, or working with the public and getting media engagement. The communications workshops are there for you as well. And then one of our flagship themes, obviously, is working with your volunteer management program, whether staff are working off of their side of their desks or have it as a dedicated role. We have a wide variety of volunteer management workshops to be able to help them build out their skills and grow and engage in that profession as well. So with membership comes benefits. And so I'll just re-highlight some of what Heather said, is that with your annual membership, there's access to one free workshop for your organization. It can be found using the coupons in the member benefits. So if you're going to do your homework that Heather guided you to do, if you go down the list in your profile to the bottom where it says member benefits, there's a place where you can click, and then you can see you can access your coupon for a free workshop. As well as any other workshop you apply for, there's a coupon to get the member rates. You'll save $55 off of any other half-day workshop that we have provided. So that's another great benefit to that. We're also starting to work on providing a wide variety of free webinars, which will be promoted highly to our members and accessible to all, but you'll be able to access that value starting today with working with our guest speaker, Brandy, who will just be connecting in just a few minutes. And yeah, so that really does kind of lay out our education program. If you do have any questions, you can reach Alvaro at education@volunteerottawa.ca, and he'll be more than happy to talk about the program. But also check out our website. There's lots of great upcoming workshops, including we have a Board 101 workshop coming up in the next little while. We have an Excel 101 coming soon. We have a very exciting workshop tomorrow talking about how to take your strategic plan and bring it into the actualization process, called From Strategy to Execution. And then a couple others. We have a leadership session coming up called Leading Through and After Crisis. So talking about crisis communications and how to build your team stronger through difficult times. So there's no end to the excellent educational opportunities. Check out the list at volunteerottawa.ca/workshops. And now for our main event. And so I'm so happy to welcome Brandy to our webinar today. And it's been lovely getting to know Brandy. I think we probably touched base when I first started in volunteer management 7 or so years ago, and she was just a few years into her role at that point, but she just recently celebrated 10 years at Better Impact and making a huge impact in the world of volunteer management and providing solutions to help develop better volunteer management, both data and so many things she's going to talk about. So I'm just so excited. Randy, welcome, and thank you so much for being here and beginning this partnership with Volunteer Ottawa.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me, and thank you all for attending, to whether it be that your purpose is here to re-engage and learn about the membership benefits with Volunteer Ottawa, and or stick around for my piece of the pie if you're exploring a volunteer management solution for your organization or an existing Better Impact member and you want to know more about your membership benefit with Volunteer Ottawa. So I'm gonna, as a quick introduction about myself before I start sharing my screen, as Adam said, I've been at Better Impact for 10 years. I'll explain more in a moment exactly what Better Impact is for those that may not be aware. I began a long time ago, back in 2003. I was formerly a volunteer coordinator with a national and international event that was hosted in Hamilton. And then it led me to other nonprofit experiences before I landed at Better Impact. And so it's interesting to be on the other side, actually supporting nonprofits through their journey of exploring and finding the volunteer management solution that's the right fit for them. So that's really where my expertise and a number of my colleagues who work with nonprofits, that's where we really excel. So let me get my screen shared and start to first talk about the membership benefit. All right, so what will be up soon on the Volunteer Ottawa's website is a link in their membership benefits area that when clicked, it will bring you to this page to go claim what your membership benefit is. And the nice thing about this benefit is whether you are currently a Better Impact customer or not, you have a way to benefit. So first of all, for active Volunteer Ottawa members who may go on the journey to find the right volunteer management solution for their program, and should you determine that it's the product that we happen to offer, you can subscribe to it, and your benefit will be that you'll have $100 off your first year's invoice because of your membership with Volunteer Ottawa. So you would simply just fill out this form to claim that rebate, and it will be applied on your invoice once your order comes in for that product. Now, if you are currently using our software, your membership benefit is related to training. So we all know there's been like a lot of turnover with COVID and whatnot. And so what we've even seen with users of our product is there can be organizations that have been subscribing and using our volunteer management software product for years, but there's new administrators that have come in to take over that system and now are using it to run the program. And so they're newer, and sometimes you don't have that overlap with your predecessor to learn the system and other things to do with your role. And so you may find that you want to benefit from buying some training. So just visit our website, betterimpact.ca, or contact our team to learn more about the training options. And you can very easily buy a topical type of training that is fully covered with the $100. So essentially get your training for free, if you will. Okay, so there's a little something for everyone, whether you're currently using our software or not. All right, just to get, so what I'm gonna do from here is eventually I'm gonna lead to actually showing you more about the software. Everything's just gonna be a general overview, but there's always more information on our website, betterimpact.ca, for those that wanna take a deeper dive. So let me just get into sharing a different slide here. All right, so everyone should be able to see the slide now, right? Give me a little thumbs up there. Okay, perfect. So for those that are not familiar with who Better Impact is, quick recap is we are a 20-year-old software company. We, as our CEO, Tony Goodrow would say, is we kind of started by fluke. He started a passion project to develop what he thought would be a project, so a short-term endeavor to create a web-based volunteer management solution for a local hospice that he founded. And realizing that it was a much bigger endeavor, it birthed the company Better Impact. So 20 years later, here we are making a global impact. Our headquarters is in Canada, so we're in Hamilton, so I'm just a little bit south from where you all are currently. And we have offices around the world, US, UK, Australia. We have customers in those markets as well as other countries around the globe as well. We are best known for our volunteer management software solution, which is known as Volunteer Impact. However, we also do provide other solutions to support other programs at your nonprofit, such as donor, client, and member management solutions. Okay, and we just like to think of ourselves as a we're here to help company. So just to talk a little bit about the current state that the sector is in and how it kind of ties into technology and a volunteer management solution. I'm just going to do a quick little recap. So all of you may be familiar with a stat like this, which is found on Imagine Canada's site. There's a lot of nonprofits across Canada, so over 170,000. And I believe in Ontario, it's roughly 55,000. So there's a lot of them out there. But what's interesting is the overwhelming majority of them are going to be smaller in size. And for some of you, this may resonate with you. And feel free to use your reactions throughout the presentation. If you agree with something, disagree, feel free to give thumbs up, thumbs down, celebrate something, or comment in the chat. Just be playful and let's engage throughout the presentation. And so with the overwhelming majority of organizations being small, this is the type of clientele that is typically going out to a company like ours that is a provider of volunteer management software. So they have interesting challenges. So they're typically, smaller in staff size. And so it's really important that when you have a smaller team, there's a lot of efficiencies and automations built in, and definitely a reduction in the data entry so your team can operate as efficiently as possible and be really productive. And tech solutions like software can help solve those problems. Typically having smaller budgets, and so there's can be concerns and restraints around, can I even afford software with our smaller budget? And thousands of organizations before you have come and done it before, and it can oftentimes just be a matter of good planning, leadership, and decision making and spending decisions, and fewer resources in general. So one of them that comes to mind with fewer resources would be things like expertise in the area of IT, which IT folks, it's common. We see with these smaller organizations, they may not have an IT staff member in-house, or perhaps the budget to outsource that expertise. Yet it is so critical when you are choosing a software solution, whether it's volunteer management software or another software system to support your team's, your organization's operations, that it be measured against it being technically sound, data secure, because you're housing important information in the system, such as information on your volunteers. And you need that system to be data secure so that as an organization, we don't end up with egg on our face and fall into a situation with data breaches and leaks and whatnot. And so since many organizations may not have that level of expertise, it is important that you self-educate in that area. So if you go through the journey of choosing a software solution, you can feel with more confidence than had you not educated yourself in data security, that you are actually choosing a better fit or the right fit. Okay, and that's a whole nother topic and webinar in itself. Okay, but just leaving you with a couple of tidbits for those that choose to go on this journey. I know we've probably all talked the pandemic topic to death, but it definitely has influenced the sector. We certainly saw an uptick in organizations subscribing to solutions like a volunteer management system as your teams went remotely and needing to up their tech game so that you could perform more efficiently when you're not in the office together. So it really expedited, but also elevated organizations to a new level of operations efficiency for those that made moves like that or continue to make moves. We know there's been lots of turnover, and so a big need in the sector is definitely a lot of mentorship and education. And that's what I love about this membership benefit with Volunteer Ottawa is as new team members come in who could be taking over systems like using Volunteer Impact, you know, you have that benefit of getting free training, and you know, why not use it and claim that rebate. Also, a big focus now with organizations or programs needing to recruit or rebuild their programs. It really creates an opportunity to rethink our programs. And are we operating in the best way? Do we have grandfathered in practices that really could be re-envisioned to a point where technology could be the right option for us to solve some of the problems we're currently facing? So just taking the time to reflect and reinvent the program. And it's factual, at least even with our stats, that we see that it's extremely common that overwhelmingly programs who are going to seek out a volunteer management solution, their current tool that they're using to manage their program is spreadsheets, Excel. Okay, so Excel is great to a point. Definitely it's budget friendly, but it's not a tool that's designed for what you do every day in volunteer management. So again, these are common problems that we hear from organizations and volunteer services team members when they come to us to determine if what we have to offer is the right fit for them. So I'd love to just hear even like see a couple of thumbs up, thumbs down, like if any of these resonate with you. So again, some organizations thinking about data security and realizing some of the practices we have in place and how we're storing and managing volunteer data is not sufficient and puts us at risk for damaging our organization's reputation. Data entry, you hear it all the time, that, you know, you're spending so much time, let's say, in spreadsheets, transferring data from one tool to another so you get it where you need it to then do your reporting or be able to access the data. And this creates data duplication issues. So your data integrity is at risk that you may be using to run reports to make good decisions. And it just sucks the life out of your day, data entry. So being that most organizations or small team members need efficient practices and tools that build in efficiency and automations to save you time. Organizations use a lot of disconnected tools. So you might be using, let's say, a paper application, receiving that and transferring data into an Excel spreadsheet. You could, so again, you could be using Excel spreadsheet for contact info management, scheduling, sometimes logging, recording hours in there so you can run some reports. You might be using communication tools like MailChimp or Constant Contact to send out your monthly e-newsletter. You could have a binder that volunteers sign in and out from to log hours or indicate attendance. And these are all disconnected, which again, come with their own slew of issues, which can be resolved with good volunteer management software to get all of that into one solution. Not having enough time to engage and lead your volunteer program and team members. And again, common problems as well with having a tight budget and feeling constraints from that avenue. So I'm going to do a quick 3-question assessment for you all. So I'm going to ask you to pop open your chat, take a little time out to think about these 3 questions, and you're going to answer by entering in a couple of numbers as your response in the chat. And it'll help me learn a little bit more about you, but most importantly, this is for you to think about what is the current state of my program. So thinking about the slide that I just showed you, which problem or problems resonated with you the most from the previous slide? And you'll just type any of these numbers to indicate what you feel is the most common problem in your program to date. Is it concerns over inefficient data security, too much data entry in the job, using disconnected tools, type of 4 if it's not enough time to engage volunteers, or 5, a tight budget. So feel free, open up that chat, just start typing away. We'll see numbers fly through the chat. And what do you feel is a problem or problems that resonated with you most currently? And feel free to reply to everyone, and then I'll be able to see that as well. And yeah, so again, mostly this is for you to think about with your program. All right, next question. How are you currently managing your volunteers now? Is it predominantly spreadsheets? Type a 1, give me a 2 if it's a volunteer management solution, or 3, something else. Yeah, so I see a variety of anything from 1, 2, or 3. All right. And what's great, even when I see organizations indicate that they're using a volunteer management solution, I mean, it's great that you've made a transition to that and ideally you're finding benefits. It is always nice to do a health check with any software system we use, just to always reevaluate. Is it still working for us based on what our needs of today are, or what the outlook looks like for our program in the future? And lastly, in your opinion, what's most at stake if a change doesn't happen sooner than later? Is it a concern over volunteer turnover and disengagement, staff turnover and disengagement, wasted money, which can be from wasted time and tools that you've invested in, or even your own time being wasted, since if you're a paid employee, your inefficient processes and your time wasting and with doing data entry, that's a cost. Concerns about damage to the reputation of your organization, which can come about with which can come about with data security concerns and issues, or 5, something else. So again, pop it in the chat. I see, all of the above. So again, think about this. This was a little micro timeout in our day to reflect on our program. But what's always interesting is from this, determine what do you do next? Do you remain complacent, or is this enough of a priority and goals for your program and organization now to want to take steps to action a change? Okay. All right, so gonna get into a couple of videos and demo real soon. I did just want to leave you with a couple of quick tips. If you are going on the journey to finding a volunteer management solution, which is what VMS stands for, and this is based on, experience, again, over the past 10 years of working with organizations. So I highly recommend that you don't embark on this journey or this project of finding a solution until you get the blessings of the decision makers, okay? I'm not, and it's really more of the permission to say, hey, we're facing some problems that need a solution. Are you okay if we use our time as a team to take on this project to identify what a solution is? You're not going to them saying, I need you to make a decision and choose a particular product. It's just blessing to go on the journey so that you can avoid the situation of having not asked permission, go out, find a solution, go bring it to your leadership, and they don't approve it. Okay, they didn't even know that you were doing this. And some organizations have taken that approach and faced that disappointment. So a little tip so you can avoid that. Going on this journey, it is a project, so approach it in that way. And Project Management 101, PPE, plan for it, prepare for it, execute the plan, and do this as a team. So it is really critical that you figure out who on my team needs to be involved in this journey. And I've listed some typical players you see at the table: volunteer coordinator, manager, volunteers from your program, your ED, IT team member, if you're blessed enough to have one on staff or can outsource that expertise, board of directors. Okay, don't go on this journey alone. You will be stronger as a team because each team member has different needs. And if you combine that, you're going to come out better at the end to have most, if not all of those needs with the decision you make and the solution you choose. Definitely figure out what needs do we have, and ask that of your team members who you've identified should be included in this journey. Because if you're a volunteer coordinator or manager, what you may think of as your needs, which can oftentimes be like features or functions you need the system to provide for you, such as reporting needs, can be very different than what your IT team member is looking for from a data security perspective, and they can use their expertise to share what their needs are. And again, I would also recommend when you make this list of needs that you have, definitely place the highest importance on data security. Features and functionality can be very impressive and definitely are needs that your team has to be met. But if it's not in a secure system, that puts your organization at risk. So security first, features and functionality can come later. Identify like what your journey is going to look like. So like the steps, if you will, or the stages you're going to go through. So a needs assessment, which becomes your roadmap when you're going to measure up your needs, particularly your must-haves, measure them against the variety of volunteer solutions out there so that you can shortlist and exclude some of the solutions that just do not match your key criteria. Get them off the list, and so you can shortlist, and then end up taking that short list and doing a deeper dive when you want to do a demo with a rep at the organization to learn more about the solution and how it's meeting some of your additional needs. A trial, which is critical because then you can get into the software system and play around with it and learn, is it intuitive and easy to use, and more. Determine your timeline so you know what this project looks like. When are these different stages occurring? So it helps with your preparation and with your team members so they know I'm involved in stage X. That's going to happen in a particular month. I might need to block off time in my calendar to prepare for that and more. Okay, and also encourage you to engage with the people at the software company, so sales and support. Does sales treat you and see you as a number? You are just money and a sale to them, or are they empathetic and understanding the true challenges that the sector faces, and invested in helping you determine if the solution is the right fit for you? And engage with the support team members because they're an extension of your team. And if you subscribe to that product at that company, it's a long-term relationship you're having with them. So how well are they measuring up as a tech partner with you? Be open-minded, be empathetic, make it a team decision, and reflect sometimes throughout the journey. Am I being a part of the solution or am I more of the problem? Okay, step out of the way and contribute as a team member and be part of the solution. All right. Moving on to the next slide, once my mouse will move here. So I'm going to share a couple of quick videos with you just to give you an introduction to the product that we offer, Volunteer Impact. One of the first things to determine if do your needs and your organizational structure match best to the standard edition or the enterprise edition. I'm going to play a short video, give a listen and think, am I a standard or an enterprise? Again, most organizations are small, and not that this is the key criteria to determine that all small organizations are a standard edition, but this is where most will fall, and likely where you on the call may be if you consider yourselves a small organization. Enterprise organizations can be, for example, cities with volunteer programs across multiple departments. I don't know why I'm blanking here right now, hospitals as well. So give a listen and think, am I a standard or an enterprise? And if you don't know after you watch this video, that's okay, because you just have a quick call with us. Literally within under 10 minutes, we ask a couple of questions. You're going to know if you're a standard or enterprise.
The Volunteer Impact Standard Edition is intended for organizations of any size, typically where one or more managers are responsible for all the volunteers and the volunteering occurs at one location. The Volunteer Impact Enterprise Edition is intended for organizations with multiple locations or departments where a significant separation of volunteer data is desirable. It can be used to support a few location or departmental accounts, or a few hundred of them. This account manager of volunteers will be able to do things such as communicate via email or text with all or some subset of volunteers. She won't have any access to the volunteers in other accounts. At the top level, the enterprise administrators will have the ability to communicate with all or some subset of the volunteers across the whole organization. Reporting works in a similar fashion. This account manager of volunteers will be able to generate reports on all or some subset of her volunteers. At the top level, the enterprise administrators will have the ability to generate reports on all or some subset of volunteers across the entire organization. In larger organizations, regions can be introduced as a middle tier to give regional managers access to volunteers and reporting data across their region. Enterprise administrators can also create standards for data collection and volunteer portal branding for a consistent experience across the organization. They can also create templates for activities, general interests, and emails that will save the account managers time in getting started, as well as later on in the process. The Volunteer Impact Enterprise Edition gives you a bird's eye view of everything related to volunteerism across your organization and provides for flexibility that can allow for varying degrees of centralization or decentralization across your organization.
Now, another quick short video just to get into the actual product, Volunteer Impact. And again, it's a quick short video just to give you an overview of some of the capabilities of Volunteer Impact. Again, you're always welcome to go to betterimpact.ca, where you can watch our video series, which is a general but comprehensive overview of the product. Set aside 1 hour in your calendar and you'll watch the video series from end to end. But hopefully this gives you a general idea of what Volunteer Impact can do for your program. So let's get this played.
Hi, I'm Brandy, coming to you from the Better Impact headquarters in Canada. It's my pleasure to walk you through a demonstration of our volunteer management software solution known as Volunteer Impact. Designed to provide a one-stop shop for your volunteer program needs, gone are the days of using numerous systems to run your program. You and your team will have a portal to access, commonly referred to as the administrator's portal, in which you'll be able to manage new applicants, track volunteer screenings such as background checks, onboard volunteers via online trainings, communicate with your volunteers, manage schedules to easily identify which shifts are filled and where you still have gaps, run reports on volunteer hours and gather feedback from your volunteers at conclusion of a shift, and so much more. There's also a portal for your volunteers to individually access so they can manage their volunteer participation self-sufficiently, thereby saving everyone time and ensuring that volunteers are not passive in their engagement with your organization. Accessible via any device with an internet connection, including their smartphone via our Android and iPhone apps, your volunteers will be able to sign up for opportunities shared with them, take online trainings, see and manage their schedule, log hours, run reports on their contributions, contact you, keep their profile info up to date, and more. If you're an organization matching its volunteers to clients who receive a service, or you have a membership or donor program, I encourage you to also check out the videos on our other software modules, Client, Member, and Donor Impact. Within one consolidated space, you can manage all these people who support or depend on your organization's mission. We recommend that you put aside the time to watch the series of videos from start to finish. However, you're welcome to use the on-screen menu to skip ahead and explore those parts of the software that are most relevant to your needs. Here's some key info to note about the software. Your data is securely stored in Canada. The volunteer portal meets accessibility standards across the Canadian provinces, and the software is available in English and French for those with bilingual program needs. At the conclusion of the video series, we'll share some next steps you can take if you're interested in learning more about what we have to offer. For now, though, let's get started on your journey and explore what Volunteer Impact can do for you and your program. Thanks for watching. Hi.
All right, so I know we're getting close to the end of this webinar. So I've provided you with a little overview of some tips if you're going to go on the journey to finding a VMS for your program. And again, I really encourage organizations, do your due diligence, really assess what your needs are when you embark on this project to set yourselves up for success and come away with choosing the solution confidently that is going to meet all, if not most of the needs of your program. And should it be that you choose Volunteer Impact and you're an active Volunteer Ottawa member, as you know, please do claim that rebate. And if you're an existing volunteer or Better Impact member, again, consider claiming the training rebate. So before I pass it back to Adam and possibly any Q&A if we have time for that, I do just also want to thank you all for investing in your profession to learn more about Volunteer Ottawa, and also hearing what I had to share, and hopefully some of that will be useful in your journey as a volunteer engagement professional as well. All right, over to you, Adam.
All right, I do see a hand up, so let's just give Megan a minute to ask what she needs. Go ahead, Megan.
Thank you, Adam. And Brandy as well. Thank you both for your presentations. I have a question about Volunteer Ottawa, but first I just wanted to give a compliment to Better Impact. I was an administrative volunteer at the Ottawa Mission with our volunteer services for several years. And so I've used the program for a long time, and it's always been such a great program to have. And I know it's helped us a lot in the volunteer department. And now that I'm in an official employed position here, it's a wonderful service to have and keep track of everything. So I really appreciate it. My question is just a simple question about Volunteer Ottawa. And I'm sorry if I might have missed this at the beginning of the presentation, but how much is an annual membership, and is there kind of just one type of membership, or like how would that work?
If you don't mind, I can answer that question for you. So I can also share a link in the chat that highlights all of our membership opportunities and what their fees are, but it's based on your annual budget. So as an example, if you have an annual budget of 0 to 250,000, your fee would be $175 Canadian. But I can also just put in the chat here the page that basically explains all of our membership fees and everything like that.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Here, and yeah, you should be able to just either copy and paste it from the chat here. But yeah, it gives all of the descriptions of our memberships as well. So again, I mentioned 0 to 250,000. If you're above that, so in the bracket of 251,000 to 500, it would be 275, and it increases based on your budget from there as well. We also have individual membership fees that also are highlighted just under the organizational membership fees on the link I just sent.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for your question.
Okay, well, I do want to give a special thanks to Brandy. Thank you so much for coming and providing your expertise and engagement. And if anybody's at that crossroads of looking into a software platform for their volunteer program, it's an excellent opportunity to benefit from this partnership. And hopefully, if you already have Better Impact, that training, I know that there's a robust training platform that you can certainly engage in. And thank you so much again, Brandy, and everyone else for being here. I really appreciate your time and your engagement. A couple of Cole's notes. If you didn't receive, we just sent out our newsletter earlier this week with all kinds of great information, including a save the date for our AGM coming up May 26th. So please do make an effort to get somebody from your organization to be a part of that. We're very excited. We'll be relaunching our diversity and leadership program around that event, and we should have an exciting announcement as well as some updates on that program during that time. But in the meantime, both Heather and I are always here if you have questions about Volunteer Ottawa and how we can best help build capacity with your organization and help get you the volunteers you need to build a better community. So thank you so much. Really appreciate all the time. And we're hoping to do more of these free webinars, and including 2 more with Better Impact coming up in the next number of months. So keep tuned to our emails and our engagement, and we look forward to seeing you at various other events in the next coming weeks and months. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone. Good job, Heather.
All right, thanks.
Well done, gang. Stop recording, make it easier for editing later.